I'm so happy to be here. Welcome to this practice. For this entire class, we are either going to be on our back or flipped over on our bellies. If you feel like you need a little extra padding, like for me, I'm on a very hard surface here, so I have a couple of mats underneath me. But if you want to use like blankets or anything to layer on top of your mat to give you a little bit more cushioning, if you need that, absolutely go ahead and grab that. You will definitely need some kind of yoga strap or a belt or a tie, something that's a little bit sturdy so that you're not going to grip it and have it fall apart. You'll also need a couple of blocks as well. The blocks will be kind of like interspersed depending on the shapes that we're in. You might find yourself in need of one block, but there may be some poses where you might feel like you need 2 blocks, okay? And so having said that, we're actually going to begin our practice. Meet me on your back. You're just going to start with your knees bent and your feet just a little bit wider than your hips. Let your knees kind of come together. Now, if they don't touch, that's okay. I want you to find a space where you can draw your shoulder blades apart, where you can feel your upper back begin to flatten. You can start to feel the natural curvature in your spine. And then let your arms relax just a few inches away from your body with your palms facing up. Fingers soft. Your chin is slightly drawn down towards your chest line. Eyes are closed. Let yourself take a few breaths to arrive here. So no matter what time of day this is for you, no matter what's already happened in your day and what is still to come, I invite you to be right here, right now, starting to feel your breath move through your body. And maybe even observing what you're showing up with today in your body. So how are you feeling? Take a few moments to answer that question as you scan through your entire body from head down to toes. Take 2 more deep breaths. Let yourself begin to land here a little heavier, a little lighter in your heart. Now gently start to walk your feet and your knees till they're side by side. Very gently, draw your knees in towards your chest. Just find a gentle little rock along your spine. This doesn't have to be a big movement. It can be really slow and very small. Go with what feels right for you. Eventually let yourself land back into the center. Gently place your feet down to the mat and then extend your legs long and walk them over to the bottom right corner of your mat. Start by keeping your feet just a few inches side by side. Anchor your sit bones so that you feel like you're rooted down through your center, through the pelvis. And then pick up your upper body and shift it up and over to the right as well. So as we shift into banana asana, this beautiful sort of banana crescent moon shape, you're going to take your arms somewhere, either maybe shoulder height, maybe slightly lower, or maybe slightly higher. But let your arms land somewhere where it feels comfortable, but that you're still activating a bit of a stretch through your arms. If you need to, you can even place your arms on blocks if that layer of support is needed for you. Now, if this feels okay in your lower back, you can walk your feet a little closer together, or you can even cross your left ankle over your right. And start to feel yourself really rooting down through your left side as you start to open up through there. Let your head maybe gently roll a few times until it finds its comfortable position. And then settle in. Start to get really still. Focus on your breath. And as you focus more intently on the breath, begin to notice where you feel the tension in your body, the resistance, the lack of flow that isn't moving. So where do you feel the stagnation? Where do you feel stuck and blocked? And imagine you're drawing your breath into those areas. Release any need to look like something specific in your body. Rather, bring in the intention of how do you want to feel here? As we shift into the last minute of this shape, let's go through and scan your body one more time, noticing where you feel blocked. As you take your next breath in, you'll very slowly start to unravel your body, bringing your arms back down by your sides and shifting your body back into the center of your mat. Bringing your spine back into alignment and then pausing here to feel. Feel into your entire body, not just down the left side. One more deep breath in and out through your nose. And gently start to walk both of your feet over to the bottom left corner of your mat. Anchor down through your pelvis. Pick up your upper body and shift it up and over to the left. Let your shoulder blades part. Take your arms back out. Find any shape with your arms that is going to feel good in your body. Maybe your feet will stay apart. Maybe they'll touch. Maybe you'll cross right ankle over left. There's always a first few moments where you're settling, where you're adjusting, aligning. And then eventually you find the stillness. You come back to the lengthening and the deepening of the breath. Noticing where you might need to direct that breath. The more ease that you start to feel in your body, the more you begin to feel like things are shifting, energy is flowing, tension releasing. You deepen the breath. These are your signals, your body's cues that it's okay, that it's safe to go and find the next level to breathe, the next level to release. Your body's natural tendency when it's still is to actually tense up. When you start to realize and you create that awareness of that happening, that's a big shift. In that moment, you know you can let go. Maybe it's by offering a really deep breath in and out. Maybe it's you realize there's somewhere in your body that's stuck and you give it permission to release. Last minute here. Take your time with your breath. Don't rush. As you inhale, slowly unravel. Come back to the center. Let your arms drift towards your hips. Separate your feet wide. Pause here. Just let yourself rebound. Again, feel into both sides of your body. And slowly begin to walk your feet back onto the mat. So knees bent. You're going to find one block at the very lowest setting and place that underneath the base of your head. And then find your strap. You're going to unravel the strap into both of your hands. So it's nice and long and wide. And you're going to draw both knees in towards your chest and loop the strap onto the arches of your feet, of both feet. And then you're going to extend your legs up into the air. Now, as you extend your legs up, I want you to find like a very narrow letter V. So think of your legs in the shape of a letter V. So your feet are pointing out on a slight diagonal from your hips, and your hands are on either side of the strap. Yeah, beautiful. And you're only going to open the legs as wide as it feels comfortable in your body, where you're keeping your sit bones and tailbone kind of rooted downwards. Your arms have a slight little bend. Okay, so you're not locking in the joints. You also have a soft bend in the back of your knees, so you're not locking back there. So think of this as a reclined dragonfly position, where we're targeting the inner legs as well as the hamstrings. So shifting more energetically towards cleansing through the kidney and bladder meridian channels. Now, once you find stillness here, if your eyes are open, close them down and start to take some long, deep breaths. It's very common in this shape for your legs to shake a little bit. If they do, just find a narrower stance. So bring your feet in a little bit closer, but they're still in a V position. Okay, so it's not too intense here on the back of the hamstrings and the inner thighs. You always adjust the distance between your feet as it feels appropriate in your body. Now, at any point, if you need to take a moment to rest, please listen to the communication that your body gives you. It is where you find the most wisdom, is by listening within. Allow your breath to flow with some ease, as if you were drawing the breath up the back of your legs, down the inside of the thighs. This is such a nourishing shape to cleanse these two meridian channels, the kidney and the bladder, the place where we store the fear, the uncertainty, the doubt. Even the anxiety. Just a few more rounds of breath. Let your last few rounds of exhales be a little bit longer, a little bit deeper. Feel free to even pause at the very top of your inhale. And then make a slow, long exhale out through the nose or even through your mouth if you need to. Gently on your next inhale, begin to slide your feet until they come together to touch. And then just pause here for a moment, take a deep breath in, and take a deep breath out. And then take a generous bend in your knees, draw your knees into your chest, and release the strap. You can place that over to the side of your mat. The block that was under your head, gently release that as well. And then just pause here, keeping the knees bent, feet grounded. Arms can either be by your sides or resting your hands onto your body. 3 deep breaths. Now very slowly start to heel toe your feet together. Extend your left arm above your head. You're going to slowly roll over onto your side. Pause here so you're in a fetal position. Head is grounded on your bottom arm. Knees are gathered up and towards your chest. Take a deep breath into the back of your body, into where your kidneys are. Just feel the energy. Feel the support. And then from here, you're going to extend your legs and really slowly take your time. You're going to roll over onto your belly. And we're going to set up for a tipsy Sphinx position. So I'm going to invite you to grab a block so that you have it available at the top of your mat. And just shift your body a little bit over towards the left side of your mat. So you have a little bit of cushioning on the right side. You're going to draw your right knee so it's up in line with your right hip. Okay. Ideally, your knee, shin, and ankle are all parallel in one direction. Toes can either flex forward or they can point back. No difference. It just depends on how that feels in your ankle joint. Okay. And then option one for the Sphinx position, you're going to draw your elbows so they're a few inches forward in front of your shoulder heads till you feel your rib cage drop. And then your block, most of us it'll be on the second level or the lower level. You can place that underneath your forehead. If you want to be up a little bit higher, you're going to draw your elbows so they're just slightly in forward of your shoulder heads. So you feel your ribs actually lift. And then your block ideally will probably be on the highest level, and you can bow your forehead down there. So once you settle in, if you feel like your shoulders are kind of creeping towards your ear line, try taking your elbows out on a diagonal. So you're making almost like a tripod position with your arms. Sometimes that just frees up a little bit more space. You're also welcome to keep your head lifted. Just don't look up, and don't be straining the back of the neck, but you can keep the head forward with the eyes closed. So as we start to take some aligned breaths here, I invite you to start to breathe into the back of your body where your kidneys are. So as you begin to compress through there, there's a slight little restriction of blood flow. And then there's an expansion, an opening, a decompression through the bladder. So as these two channels work together, you begin to release the doubt, the insecurity, the fear, the anxiety. As you draw the breath in and release the breath out. Let's soften here. Let's soften your body. Let's soften your breath. Let's soften the fear. So this is not a long hold because we're going to repeat this on the other side. And take 5 slow, deep breaths here. On your next inhale, slowly come all the way down. Stack your hands one on top of the other. Rest your forehead or one ear to the mat and tuck your right foot back to meet the left. Pause here. Breathe deeply. And then on your next inhale, just slowly lift your head a little bit. You're going to slide on over to the opposite side of your mat. And then you'll draw your left knee up in line with your left hip. And find an alignment between your knee to your shin and ankle. And you choose again. You might be down a little bit in a lower Sphinx position, grounding through your rib cage, or you might be lifted a little bit higher. Find the shape that feels best in your body. And then come back to focusing on breathing into your kidneys again. Finding that full expansion and contraction of your breath. Imagine your breath draws in what you need, and your breath out releases what you don't. That might be a sensation in the body. It could be a thought. It could be an emotion. It could be all of that. Last 5 rounds of breath. As you inhale, just slowly, slowly come back, all the way back down to the belly. Extend your left leg back to meet the right and pause here to take a few deep breaths. Imagine if you're filling up your kidneys like 2 balloons. And then gently bring your hands underneath your shoulders and slowly press yourself up into a table position. And we'll move into just a very short tadpole. So we'll bring the big toes to touch, open the knees just enough, not a super wide distance between your knees, just a little bit. Grab your blocks, both of them actually, and you're going to place your blocks, it'll depend. You might place your blocks on the second level, they might be on the lower level, but you're going to think of your blocks like a little shelf, and you're going to place them one in front of the other, like they're on a train track. One will be for your belly to rest on, the other one will be for your head. So you're going to bow down, and if you need to adjust to a different height, you can. You can also even bring the block that's under the head at the highest level if you need to. And then once you land onto the blocks, take your elbows just a little bit wide, almost like you're making a little triangle. And then let your forehead settle and breathe deeply here. Imagine you have a set of wings that are actually sitting on your kidneys. And feel as you breathe in, like the wings expand. Feel them contract as you breathe out. Take a really deep breath in and take a really long breath out. And then slowly start to lift your head, your chest, press into your hands as you slowly start to stack your shoulders above your hips. You can take the blocks out to the side and very slowly just walk the knees until they're side by side. And then just come over onto one hip and make your way into a comfortable seated position. I'm going to suggest that you sit on the edge of a block, or if you have a bolster or something else that you want to sit up onto, you can. It doesn't matter which leg you have in front. We're just going to be here for a few moments just to kind of settle into a really calm energy. And so with that, we're going to stimulate an acupressure point on the breastbone called the Sea of Tranquility. This is a very calming point here, acupressure point. So to find it, just bring your fingertips over to the bottom of your armpits and kind of walk your fingertips till you get to the center. When you get to the center, you'll feel the little breastbone, because if your fingers are off of it, you'll feel the flesh. But when you land on it, you'll feel that little bone, okay? You can place either one set of fingers or one hand on top of the other. It doesn't matter as long as something is gently pressing there, okay? And you want it to be a soft, gentle press, nothing too hard. And then your eyes are closed. You're sitting up tall. Imagine a place for you that brings you a sense of peace and tranquility. It may be somewhere that you have visited before, or maybe it's somewhere you would like to be. Bring that focus into your mind. See a clear picture of it. And once you have a really clear visual, imagine you're sitting there in that space, exactly as you are right here. Your hand gently pressing on this acupoint. There's no one around you. What can you hear? Maybe there's sounds. Maybe it's sounds of nature. Maybe you hear faint voices in the background, but you can't make out the words. And then what do you hear in between your ears? Is it your own voice? Or is it an echo of something around you? Is there something you smell? Is there something in the air? And then finally start to go a little deeper within your own body. Noticing where you feel peaceful and calm. Where in your body feels tranquil and at ease. And then as you take your next breath in, send yourself the energy of gratitude for the peace and the tranquility that you have in this moment. And that you know you can always tap back into anytime you need to. It's always inside of you. Anything and everything that you ever need is always inside of you. Take a deep breath in and take a long breath out. And then slowly release your hands and make your way down onto your back for your final Shavasana. And if you want to continue in a meditation position, you more than welcome can. If you prefer to come down on your back, or if you prefer to rest on your side, that's also available to you. You can support, prop, cover yourself up if you desire, but take your arms away from your body so that you can free up the energy to move through you. Close your eyes. Let your practice go. Everything that you needed here, you received. Please allow yourself as much time as you need here. Thank you so much for joining me, practicing, taking the time to be in your body. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.